Hiya, I was just sitting here in the mountains of Spain. I was doing a video about Vista and how to set your goals, and I realised that all the Tom concepts turn up in everything we do. And so I just thought I'd do a quick one. For those of you, and people say to me, how can you use all the models all the time? How does that work? There's 12 of them. There's probably more. And I said, well, the things that we do in life where we've succeeded are probably the things where we have been using all the models. So what I'm going to do is just run through, it's the 2nd of January. I always set my goals at the start of the year and think, what am I going to do next? Or what's going to happen this year? What's going to be great? What's going to inspire me? And I thought, well, let's do just a separate video just for a couple of minutes, and maybe a couple of minutes, talking about all the models. So let's talk about Tom first. Do I trust myself to do this? Yeah, well, my back's been bad for years, and this year I finally found a physiotherapist who worked with me and got me to set my goals and believed that I could do these things, believed that I could go back to Everest Base Camp next year before I turned 60, believed that I could get back on a bike because I hadn't ridden a bike for years, believed that I could go and play tennis again and climb hills and mountains like this again because I hadn't been doing that for a while. So he believed in me, so he built my self-trust. He trusted that we could work together and achieve this, which was fantastic for me. He gave me hope, whereas a lot of other physios didn't. They belittled my beliefs, or they belittled my dreams and about getting back and fit and healthy again. So then we set objectives. So what was the objectives we wanted to do for the year? So one of the objectives was to go to Mount Everest Base Camp before I turned 60, and forgive me if I've mentioned that already. So I needed to do some other smaller hills and smaller mountains, and we live on the 21st floor of a building in Brighton in the UK, and I've been walking up the stairs and down again, 21 floors up and down, and so that's what, 42 flights, and then going up again. So I've done about 36 flights. So, but when I first started working with the physio, I didn't trust myself to be able to walk up one flight of steps. I had trouble walking up one flight of steps. I had trouble standing, doing the work that I do. So now I've got to the point where I've built my self-trust, and that, of course, changes the objective. So we did set the objective of going to base camp, but the next objective was to go and climb some more hills. I wanted to do Snowdon. I want to go back to the Lake District and climb some hills up there. I used to live up there for a while and climb Helvellyn and Scarfield Pikes and just do some hill walking to prepare me for later in the year. So that's part of resetting the objectives all the time, moving forwards, resetting the objectives and motivating me. Because when I climbed this hill today, I thought, well, I couldn't do this a year ago. So that motivates me. That's an accessible step that moves me on to the next stage. I feel really motivated to move on. And then for a motivating factor, the WIFU, go back to objectives, Vista objectives. We just talked about Vista in another little video I made, and set the vision, make sure it inspires me, and the things I wanted to do. I'm back on the bike again. I'm riding a bike for half an hour without any ill effect, and I couldn't ride it for 5 minutes this time last year. So that was fantastic. Vista, vision, inspiration inspired me to move on. I set the specifics. I'm going to climb this hill and that hill. Time bound it. Yes, it's time bound because we're going in November this year, because my mate Rod turns 60 next year. So we both want to do it before we turn 60. So time bound and accessible. A lot of accessible steps along the way. We've got to buy the tickets, we've got to climb more mountains, we've got to get fitter, I've got to go to the gym, longer trips on the bike. So all to get fitter towards that. So Vista works here. Then there's WIFU, what's in it for us? What's in it for me? Oh, I've just talked about what's in it for me, that feeling of moving forward, that feeling of excitement, that feeling of doing things that I've done in the past and still being able to do them at 60. Then there's what's in it for us? What's in it for my mate Rod? Well, we want to go there together. It's something we shared in the past. We used to do a lot of hiking together in Australia. He's been before to Nepal. I've been to Nepal twice. We haven't been together, so that's it's something we're looking forward to doing. It's rekindling that old interest we had as scouts years and years ago. And WIFU, what's in it for us? What's in it for us as a team, or the planet. I guess the healthier I am, the better I am for my family, for my wife, for my kids. So there's benefits all round. It's us includes everybody. It's you, me. What's in it for you? Well, I'm making this video, and hopefully you might get something out of this, thinking, well, okay, Ross went and did that, and he didn't think he could do it, but now he's back on it again. If that inspires you, that's great. So there's something in it for everybody. Then there's a Lemon Man. Lemon Man is all about learning, and using your physical body to learn, using all your senses, and certainly all my senses are alive being up here today. It's actually bloody cold at the moment, but it's the sun's starting to go down. So it's a full body experience. I'm not thinking about it, I'm actually feeling it, I'm tasting, I'm smelling it, and there's wild herbs growing here. So I'll remember this for a long time to come, and I do every time I go and climb a mountain somewhere and look down on my life. So Mal and BJ, did I make it happen? Yeah. Did I assist it happen? Yeah. Do I let things flow? Yeah, we sort of set the goal to go into the mountains today and just sort of see what happens. And we pulled into a car park, and there's a hill, there's a mountain, I want to do that today. So we can do that. So as well as being something that's what's in it for me today, it's also part of my vista, and it's also part of trust and setting objectives. So everything's involved here. Do I blame and justify? If I could complain that I'm cold now, but who put me here? Whose idea was this? So I made it happen, assisted it happen, let it happen. And then there's the AAA bridge, agree, adapt, assist. I'm in an agreement with myself to do this, and I feel good that I've done it. I have agreement that I'm going to go to Everest Base Camp later in the year. I have agreement that we're going to grow the business, Tom International, to a certain size this year. I have agreements with my business partners, and agreement with my team, anybody training with Tom, agreement with my family that if it fits into their program. So there's all these sorts of agreements. Will I have to adapt them along the way? Probably. Things may go along at different points, but I need to adapt from moment to moment to make sure that I'm always on track. You need to reset your goals often, and I certainly do anyway. It's not a lecture to you, it's sort of a lecture to me. I teach what I need to learn most. Then we're assess. Yeah, we're assessing. I'm assessing now. I didn't make it to the top of the mountain today I wanted to get to, but hey, I made it 3/4 of the way up, and I'll do the rest on another day. It's getting a bit late now. So that was important to me, to make that step forward. So agree, adapt, assess. I need to agree with myself that I'm going to do something. I need to agree with others that it's okay, that it fits in with their schedule. I need to adapt it to make sure it still fits with everybody and fits with me and gets me where I want to go. And I need to stop and assess and look back and say, well, that's where I was half an hour ago. This is where I am now, and that's where I'm going to be in the future. So AAA is always involved with everything we do, I think. Again, I keep saying this, the world according to Ross. Then there's the behavioural blends. Do I need to be balanced to do this? Yeah, I need to set my goals, the bullet points. I need to be controlling. I need to control my own destiny. That's, being male, make things happen. Do I need a spot of perfection? Do I need the details? Well, yeah, I need to make sure I brought a jumper and make sure the batteries were charging the camera. So there's some details there I need to do. If I wanted to record this while I was up here, I need to do that. Then entertaining. Do I have to make this entertaining? Well, if I was boring, you wouldn't have got this far. So hopefully it's entertaining enough. It's entertaining me anyway. And even if you stop watching, I'm having a good time. So I'm going to stop this for a second. It's been cold. Now 1 second, I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. With the cold, my nose was starting to run, which is not good for camera. So, and the last one was the mediate. Yeah, do I need to mediate with people to make these things happen? Whether I'm climbing this mountain today, yeah, I need to mediate between the myselves, if you like, the one that wants to just go and do it, and the ones who wants to pack the bag and make all the details, and the one who wants to make it entertaining, and mediate with a mediator to make sure it all happens peacefully. Then, as far as going to Mount Everest Base Camp at the end of the year, not to the top, just the base camp. Just to be clear on that. Then Do I need to mediate with people? Yeah, because there's other people involved with this. If I just decided, took my controller out and said, I'm going to do this regardless, then there'd possibly be trouble. If I just didn't consider the details and just went on saying it was going to be fun, as an entertainer, part of me would, that'd be detrimental to the project as well. So all my four selves are involved here, and I have to consider the four selves of other people, the points of view, the points of view of the controller, perfection, entertain and mediate. Then the values iceberg. Tom climbs the mountain as the values iceberg. Do I have to consider my values here? Yeah, my values in life are, I guess, the three that always come up to me when I'm running a workshop are love, and not just a romantic love, but a love of life, a love of adventure, a love of excitement, a love of change, a love of colour, a love of beauty, love of mountains, love of beautiful. So that's why I love to travel and love to do what I do, and I love to inspire others to do what they want to do with their lives. That excites me. Nothing excites me more than hearing of someone who has gone and done something and got such a buzz out of it. So values are really important. I value love, I value adventure, I value honesty, and I value peace, particularly personal peace. So I'm striving more for that and creating more for others. So will this help that? Yeah, I think so. If it keeps me peaceful and keeps me happy and keeps me calm, I'm better off for the people around me. So I need to consider their values and my values as well. Then the pause button. Do I need to stop every now and again? Well, that's what I'm doing here. I got to here and I realised I was going to be late back to the car. So do I just forge ahead and go ahead anyway and be really late back and be in trouble with the people who are waiting for me? Or do I consider that I need to stop and think and adapt the plan, going back to AAA, and keep trust and faith with myself and others. Pause button. Then the what do you want girl. Do I talk about what I want? Do I talk about the trouble I'm going to have climbing this mountain or other mountains, or my mountains in the year, or things that are going to go wrong with my life? Because they will, as all human beings, so things will go off track. Do I focus on them, or do I focus on my goals and the things I want in my life? And that's what the What Do You Want Girl is all about. Very simple explanation is that talk about what you want, not what you don't want. Talk about where you want to go, maybe more than where you've been. Talk about what you want to feel and what you want to think and what you want to have personally in your future. That's about the What Do You Want Girl is all about moving forward. And it's about Vista, really, about setting the vision of what I want, not the vision of what I don't want. And I almost forgot my own models now. But the what for feedback. Do I need to give myself feedback on the way? So it's self-feedback. What happened? Well, what happened was I got to here and I realised it was getting cold, it's getting late, I should get back. What happened next? Well, what happened next was the result of me thinking that was that I stopped and we were shooting this video. I'm actually getting a bit anxious now. I should be getting back. I'm running a bit late. So that's what also a result of stopping and pausing. So what happened? What happened next? What now? Well, I'm going to finish this video and head back down the hill. And what for? Because going back, I want to keep faith with myself and others that I've set this goal and I don't want to upset anybody else, and I need to keep faith with the four selves and get the job done and make sure it's entertaining and make sure all the details are covered and keep the peace with everybody around me and myself. So what I'm trying to show you is that all the models are active all the time. It's not about sitting down and studying one. We don't sit in workshops and take the models apart. We just apply them. And we look at parts of our lives where we have applied them and have succeeded, and then project that into the future. So if I was successful then using the pause button, was it great when I shut up the other day and thought about what I was going to say? Would that be a good thing to do in the future? Well, yeah, if that produced the result I wanted. There's times to speak up, and there's times to shut up. So the pause button and the What Do You Want Girl and the What For feedback all fit together here. So what happened? What happened next? What now? What for? Why am I going to do that? And there's always a motivating factor, which takes us back to WIFU, which also takes us back to accessible step in the AAA bridge. So almost there. What for? Feedback ladder, onto the mountain, Vista again. We need to revisit Vista, because when we get to the top of the mountain, or halfway up the mountain, as I've done this afternoon, we need to assess where we've gone. Did I reach the vision? Yeah, well, enough of it to make me feel good. Did it inspire me to get me here? Will it inspire me to do it again? Yeah, I want to come back. I want to get to the top. I didn't realise the track was so long here to the top. Does it inspire me to go on to Mount Everest later in the year, to Everest Base Camp? Yeah, because it's been 18 years since I've been there. So yeah, am I still fit enough to do that? And walking up here, yeah, I think I'm fit enough. So let's work on that. And specifically, I'd like to do another fitness things this year. I'd like to go back to the gym and back on my bike and maybe play some tennis, which I haven't done for a while, and certainly climb some more mountains. Maybe go up to Snowdon again. I've done that 3 times. Maybe I'll do it again to get myself fit. So, as you can see, it's all about applying all the models all the time and doing the specifics. Make sure the time bound, make sure they're accessible every step of the way, and hopefully that's given you some insight as to how to use the 12 models. It doesn't only apply to mountains, it applies to making a cup of coffee, it applies to relationships, it applies to relationships with your partner or with your kids, it applies to relationships with the people you work with, the people you work for, it applies to your customers. You need to build trust with them. You need to set visions for them. Do you need to pause and think about it occasionally? Do you need to make agreements? You need to adapt them with customers. So it doesn't matter who you're working with, whether it's in the boardroom or it's on the golf course. All the models apply all the time. So thanks very much. I hope that was useful in some way, and I'll see you on another Tom Tail video. Thanks. Bye.